Hello everyone and welcome back to the Brightworks and another match of Beyond All Reason where, for whatever reason, over the last couple of days, my replay viewer has broken. I really don't understand what's going on with it exactly, but for whatever reason, every one of the matches that I've been trying to commentate over the last few days, you might have noticed a lack of content. It's been in slow-mo. As you can see here, we're spawning in and the game speed is super low. I don't know if there's like a... Oh no, that's the volume button. I don't know if there's a way to speed it up or something, if there's like something I'm supposed to be doing that will turn the speed up, but as far as I'm aware, there isn't a button that I've like neglected to press. But you can see it's like off by 0.2 for some reason. I've got 0.5 here and then 0.3 there. I really don't know what's going on. A very bizarre start here, but what we're going to do is basically just crank it up to 2.0. This game's going to go a little bit faster here at 1.3x speed, but it should be alright, as we are playing on everybody's most familiar, most favorite of maps. It's gonna be Supreme Isthmus. We're spawning here today as our blue team leader. It's gonna be none other than only Jesus of the BDI clan. It's just Jesus, guys. I mean, it's only Jesus. Gonna be spawning in the Navy lane. Now, as a Legion commander in the Navy lane, obviously that means I'm expecting to see some good old-fashioned Legion shenanigans, and right across the way here in the exact same position, in the exact same faction, in the exact opposite color, it's gonna be our red team leader, Horloff. I don't know if Horloff means something in a different language, or if it's just a fun word to say. It kind of sounds like a slur, but I definitely, I mean, you know, maybe not a slur, but like an insult, right? This is certainly something you call someone. You know, your friend gets a little too drunk and breaks your PS5. You definitely would scream at the top of your lungs what a Horloff they are. Our red team leader, gonna be going for some of these very sexy Legion bots. Hold on, we'll flip the camera around over here. Look at that. Beautiful stuff here. The Zagreus. Beautiful little four-legged freak going around and reclaiming that energy 7 days of the week. Gonna be going ahead and jumping that energy economy through the roof right now for the red commander, as we have a delayed bot lab start for both of these two comms. Only one res bot here for the blue commander. Oh no, pardon me, we do actually have a second one. It's not going to be eating trees here for the energy. We're actually going to be sending the commander over to build the lab in the water. Gonna have naval labs in both of these positions here. And we are going to eat up the backline lab with the resbot. Okay, actually I like this quite a lot. We have enough resbot, or cons rather, to actually upgrade the mexes too, which would be really nice. When you're in this lane, you have a little bit more flexibility, so it'd be really cool to see if we could actually go ahead and go for some of these overcharged mexes a little bit quicker. If you have an e-store up and running, it's pretty easy to do. You can usually afford it pretty easily. Obviously, one of them pays for the second, and the second pays for the third, and so on and so forth. Once you get one of them up and running, it really is a huge benefit, but look how cheeky this is. Okay, this is a matchup I've been dying to see here recently. It is Hovercraft versus Legion Navy. Yeah. We also have a Legion versus Legion thing over here, so this is going to be a really good showcase of what Legion v Legion in the water looks like. I've completely neglected the midsection here. It's Decurion spam coming out here from Tom Bunny. Or Bunny. They messaged me and corrected me how to say it, but I've forgotten at this point. Tom Bunny here, the green commander, with the Centurion on the front line. Pardon me, not Centurion, Decurion. Super duper annoying to play against. As you can see, the commander is just repairing all these up to full HP. If you don't snipe the commander early on, if you don't punish this with D-guns early on, it becomes frustrating and nearly impossible to shut this down properly. Napalm here making it super awkward to sit and fight this, as well as the commander is forced to stand in a bunch of napalm, taking heavy shots, and Kamikaze Monek is almost dead. 8% HP. I was expecting an explosion there. Oh, purple commander might get it. Oh, we're very close. 5% HP. Just a couple more shots right here. Oh, he wants to keep those Centurions alive, but this is just impossible to shut down. This is a brutal play to fight against here for the brown commander. As you can see, taking heavy hits from those napalm globules fired forward, and boom goes the brown commander indeed. Super aggressive early game, of course, here from the blue team, dumping tons and tons of metal into these Decurion and a bunch of units on the front line, and it's awarded them a fantastic start right here. As you can see, thousands of metal left up front here. Axe trying to move in. That's going to be a dead commander as well. The very least severely lowered HP on that commander, 6% HP to be precise, and the Decurion mostly all live. There's been a lot of discussion about whether Decurion are OP or not. They're certainly interesting. They definitely shake up the way that this game has to be played quite significantly. Look at this. Okay. So this has been the point of contention, right? You have Hovercraft, which cannot be targeted by... Well, maybe this is not the best example, right? These are paralyzed. Sure, you're doing a great job of making short work of all this, but let's see here. Yep, there we go. The gunboats obviously can be targeted right here from the Orange Commander, but the Hovercraft cannot. This is such a weird situation. It's a matchup that we hardly have ever seen because Hovercraft kind of suck big ones. They're really, really bad, and so we never ever would see them against Navy, which are basically the opposite ways of that. And yet here we are. Suddenly it's a bizarre new reality that we live in where Hovercraft can actually, in some weird ways, compete against Legion Navy. It's very bizarre. It's very, very strange. Legion's other primary strength is, of course, the fact that their submarine is extremely cheap, which does mean that Hovercraft, again, come out on top there. Submarines can't target Hovercraft. Anything that fires a torpedo can't target a Hovercraft. As one astute commenter did point out, you can actually kill them with... you can technically hit them with torpedoes, they just won't target them. The little manual firing shenanigans and whatnot here. That's another dead commander right there. It's the green commander this time, though, as we do lose a couple of those Decurions on the front line fighting these T2 forces. But man, Decurions are just downright oppressive. You get one Decurion out, and it's basically no big deal. You get two Decurions out, and things start to be a little bit... things start to get a little bit salty. And you get 3 Decurions or more out, and suddenly the game basically becomes unwinnable if you don't have a really, really well-coordinated, extremely put-together, fast-paced, D-gun-centered response. There's really just no way. I mean, Shuriken can work too. If you see Decurion spam, Shuriken might be the solution. Just to get a couple of those out on the front line to paralyze these, cut down 3 or 4 of them. Again, if you keep their numbers small, they're basically useless. As soon as they grow past 2 or 3, they're kind of unstoppable. Heat Ray Destroyer firing away into the distance here as well, which is quite nice. Starting to whittle away a bunch of these purple forces, making it a little bit awkward here for R5 5600. We have hovercrafts now for Magnum Tudor. Reminds me of Halo Combat Evolved. Has there ever been a Magnum pistol in any video game that has ever felt, aside from the Doom games, that has ever felt nearly as impactful and beautiful to use as the Halo Magnum? I mean, the Doom games didn't have a Magnum, but you know what I'm saying. Those of you that have played the Doom games know exactly what I'm talking about, how satisfying those weapons are. Land over here will be overtaken as Miscal will move forward here with a couple of rocket bots to take down the LLTs, of course, and then eventually the metal extractors, anti-air towers, all that good stuff. I smell something burning, and I sure hope it isn't a fire right outside my door. You never know, though. Hopefully it's not me. I'm double checking that, you know, all ports and remedies or extremities are accounted for. Doesn't smell like it's me, but I am slightly concerned still. Is the PC on fire? I hope it's not the PC. That would be a bummer. It does not smell like it's the PC. I think it's the neighbors having a trash fire. That's what I'm gonna guess. Bunch of torpedo boats. This has been a very bizarre stream, hasn't it? A really, really bizarre stream. I do apologize because, yeah, certainly one of the streams of all time, for sure. Recordings, rather. I guess this isn't a live stream. The live streams have been a lot of fun. If you want to go check those out, this weekend we will be playing with the randomizer mod. We checked it out once before, and it was some of the best fun I've had in Beyond All Reason in a good long while. I mean, it really, truly made me feel like the first time I ever played Bar. Learning how the units work and trying to figure out compositions, it really sent me back to the good old days. And yeah, we will certainly be taking another look at it now that everyone's a little bit more familiar with it. I would definitely recommend checking out the previous stream. All the stream VODs are uploaded to the channel, by the way, in case you do want to check those out. Nice inclusion of the anti-air here for the Red Commander, tiptoeing back and forth, sort of hitting that kitty corner maneuver, trying to outpace, outmaneuver the Green Commander here, but I think we just have the bulk to take this on. It's 4 destroyers versus, well, 4 destroyers, but those torpedo boats on the sides for a little bit of flanking damage are certainly valuable. Not to mention the red subs underneath all this are untargetable. Destroyers of the Legion faction don't have any kind of submarine weapons. You can see these destroyers actually not targeting the subs here. Whereas, of course, the torpedo launcher for the... Oh, did we have one? Oh, it might have gone down. Or maybe we didn't have one. Oh, well, anyways, the torpedo launcher frigate here for Legion can actually kill the submarines. Yeah, you can see it's really awkward all of a sudden. Oh, look, we're farming. We're farming, ladies and gentlemen. You can see the Seafoam Green Commander extracting resources from this corpse while the Red Commander is resurrecting it. So we're actually dumping hundreds of metal into this at the moment, and the Seafoam Green Commander is just extracting it all. We're milking the Red Commander. My goodness. That sounds inappropriate. Don't clip that. Bunch of platypus. Wow, a fantastic number of platypus built up over on this side. That's truly spectacular. Enough platypus that we could surely overwhelm the defensive position here for the Maroon Commander. We've got, well, no defenses to speak of. Build power coming up, AGO coming up, advanced metal extractors also on the way. But the midsection has been well locked down, I gotta say. I mean, this is a pretty stalwart defense. Purple and Seafoam holding this quite tightly here. Mantis carriers coming out here with the mobile drone carrier trucks, producing those drones and sending them on forward. Super, super annoying, super difficult to deal with. As we have the wheelie spam as well to provide a bunch of vision. So the drones are really annoying because you kind of need dedicated anti-air to shoot them down, but they're surprisingly tanky as well, which makes them kind of awkward to kill. And then, of course, we have the Hounds and the Fat Boys in the back line to provide a little bit of accompaniment as well as just some serious firepower mixed into the bulk. Oh, there's Nocteris firing away. Long-range cluster artillery vessel firing off into the distance here. The Blue Commander building that siege weapon in order to try and bombard as many of these units as possible. Oh, we're getting very close to the coast here. We kind of want to keep that offshore a little ways. The resurgence of forces, though, for the Purple Commander, and we're going for a push with it. The Mantis carriers are so nice. And look at that. They can reach up onto this high ground that's normally so impossible to besiege, and those drones can start to whittle away at a bunch of these very nicely placed arquebus, and there's even a sharpshooter here as well. Fighters are going to be sent in, but this is exactly what I was talking about, where it's really, really awkward to kill these. You can see the fighters struggle so hard about killing these drones. All of a sudden, this becomes a fantastic pushing force. Red is forced to overcommit their fighters to try and kill drones. The fighters can't really kill the drones. They're just too tanky. Ironically, it's kind of weird. The balancing around drones is very finicky. We'll leave it at that. And it does mean not only did the blue team get a huge positional advantage out of this, blowing up the AGO for the Maroon Commander and once again wiping off this base here, but they've also managed to secure an aerial positivity as well. Nice engagement right here from the Red Commander, or Orange Commander rather, crossing the T as it were. Shout out to the helpful commenter who reminded me about that phrase. Haven't heard that since like AP US history. But it's a good one because, I mean, that's exactly what you want to do here in these naval battles. Trying to take as much of a concave against your enemy's direct line of units as possible. And despite this fight going extremely well here for the Orange Commander, probably better than it should have, the Platypus have arrived. The Platypus do have a miniature anti-air missile built right on into their system, so that's quite nice. They also, of course, have a little laser repeater that fires a mini blast of laser fire. The swarm of... the swarm of blitzes, okay. Huh. Platypus dealing with the massive army of blitzes exceptionally well. I have to give them credit. Yeah, the rest of these platypus are just going to move on forward, trying to swarm past this base and into the backline here. Of course, build power has gone down, so the Orange Commander's left a little bit in a tricky spot. We do have one constructor remaining out here on the front line. We need to just start up build turrets. We're actually going to start up a torpedo launcher. That's cute. Bunch of platypus making it past the defenses and into the backline. They're going to target down that build power. At least they should. Oh, we actually missed the build power. Oh, no. Okay, we do pop it. T2 Laboratory is discovered as well here. Forces the Pink Commander backwards. We do have one of these despots that was pumped out from the T2 Laboratory being protected by the destroyers. That's quite nice. And it does look like this thing is actually going to be able to put in a ton of work against the forces here. Yeah, firing away with those heavy laser beams as well as that triple Gauss cannon means that it's going to have tons and tons of effective damage. Drones will clean it up eventually, but it has, practically speaking, shut down the Green Navy, so it's going to be a minute there. Platypus finding their way into the backline. Popping the E-converters here for the Yellow Commander is actually a huge hit to the economy. We're gambling on that early Armada wind advantage. As you can see, these platypus sustaining the chain reaction with a little bit of injected damage can chain it all the way down to the very bitter end right there. What a beautiful explosion that was, perpetrated by a single hero platypus, or maybe villain, depending on what side of this battle you happen to be on. Certainly an overwhelming advantage right now for the blue team. A hard-fought battle on the right-hand side and a very close one on the northern side. Just a couple of good engagements there, and I think the Red Commander could have taken it away. Didn't have the backline to sustain all that, though. Needed, like, AGO and then the advanced fusions, E-converters, all that kind of serious T2 scaling. That's how you buy yourself back into Navy against the super inefficient, like, T1 to T2 tech curve. Just didn't quite happen this time. And look at these wonderful little drones chipping away at these blitzes so nicely. Yeah, there we go. Overwhelming pressure, a complete hold over the midsection right here by the purple commander, and eventually overwhelming aggression as well as the beautifully well-spent mantises march forward for the blue victory. GG is called, and I sure hope you enjoyed. If you did, of course, feel free to like and subscribe, or dislike if you so choose. And I hope to see you again in the very next matchup beyond all reason, whatever your choice may be.